L comma M size. And then the triddle factor normalization is obtained by multiplying the W256 MS with the output of the column wise FFT16. And then we make column row transformation, and FFT16 is again applied on each row of the array. This is how, this is for the mapping done as L comma M or ML plus M. For 512 point FFT, we cannot actually have the same point FFT for two stages. So the first stage we have taken 16 point FFT, and the second stage we have taken 32 point FFT. And the similar procedure is followed. The columns are all applied with FFT16, and then triddle factor normalization is done, and 32 point FFT is done on all the rows of the result of triddle factor normalization. MEL filter bank as actually need not have any hardware module for this. If we implement the transfer function, the MATLAB result was, when plotted on a MEL scale, was equally spaced filter banks, but when plotted on a frequency scale, as discussed, the lower frequency range has more number of filters, and the upper frequency range has less number of filters. The properties, from the properties of this values, actually, for 256 FFT, 256 point FFT and 20 filter banks, after performing the MEL filter bank, we get 256 into 20, 5120. We need to get 5120 values, but the matrix is not a 5120, does not actually have 5120 non-zero elements. So it turns out to be that the matrix is a sparse matrix with few non-zero elements. We need not process anything with the zero elements. So this table summarizes that the first filter bank starts from the non-zero elements of the first filter bank starts from 0 to 2. And similarly, for each filter bank, we have represented like the start of the filter bank and the end of the filter bank. For example, some last filter bank, the 20th filter bank has non-zero coefficients only from 102 to 126. So from this it is seen that there are only 240 non-zero elements out of 5,120 elements. So this actually, if we store only 240 elements instead of 5,120 elements, we could almost save 97% of the memory storage. So the next step is computation of energy in each channel. As we have seen, after performing the transformation, we need to get the energy of and filtering. We need to get the energy of each bank, and the summation of that gives the energy computation. The next step comes with MFCC computation. Here we take the logarithms of energy and perform DCT. So for the implementation of the entire discussed system, the submodules or the design modules required are, if we observe the equation S of M, it is summation and multiplication, something like sum of products. And even the C of N is also something like sum of products. So for this, we need to have a MAC run over 0 to n by 2 minus 1 times. So for this, we need adder, multiplier, and for time domain to frequency domain conversion, we would require FFT computation. Finally, the logarithm computation, since we are doing Sebstral analysis, and the DCT computation. The adder design in this project is based on recursive doubling based Cary-Luckherherd adder. The multiplier is a Dada-based tree structure instead of Wallace. MAG is a simple multiplier adder register structure. The FFT, as we have discussed, is a hierarchical design, that is higher point FFT designed from lower point FFTs. Logarithm computation has, computation can be done by many ways, from which we have chosen hybrid lookup method for optimization in storage as well as the computation. And the DCT computation, if we can see costs, the cost matrix or the cost values here are all constant, and it is a very small matrix of 240 elements, 12 cross 20. So we could actually store the cost values completely instead of computation. So the adder design, what we have chosen is a recursive doubling based CLA. We could have used ripple carry adder, which is a standard adder used for many applications. But the problem with the ripple carry adder is the delay pattern is of order of n. So if we want to implement an n-bit adder, it takes n clock cycles or n as the delay. Here, in the recursive doubling based CLA, the order is of log n. So this speeds up the system, and since we need to perform continuous MAC operations, the high speed adder is the major requirement. Basically, the idea of this recursive doubling based CLA is we'll observe the carry statuses of present state and the previous state, and basing on the carries of previous state, we find out the actual carry after login stages. So here, the table shows the status kill, propagate, and generate. So, so the thing is like, yeah. If the present state signal is either 0 or 1, present state carry is 0 or 1, but the carry to the next stage is 0, it is